It's time to let your main character energy shine. It's been time. It's 2024. That main character that's been inside operating, the world wants to see it. So let me see you bring it to the table. Welcome back, y'all, to Live to Be Recognized with Ty. Thank you all for coming back. Thank you for my new listeners, new subscribers, new followers. Y'all, we have moved up in the world. I am so excited to let y'all know that I have some treats coming to you this season, and I'm so excited. I don't want to say what they are just yet, but they will be tangible. I'm gonna just say that. And I want to wish you all a happy New Year's. It is 2024, okay? Year of 8. I'm a life path number 8. And for those that don't know what that is, feel free to look it up. It's pretty cool. When you find out, I'm very much into numerology, angel numbers, things like that, help to navigate my time and my day. And when you know your life path number, it's kind of like, aha, along with other things, but it's pretty cool. So 8, abundant cycles ending. We're ready for it. We're ready for new beginnings. During this time, I hope you utilize it for rest and don't try and ignite your fire if it's not there yet. You know what I mean? This is actually a time for rest and restoration. A lot of people don't know, but technically this is not New Year's, y'all. The spring is. But there's so much good energy because people utilize this time to put out new things, put out new growth, new visions, new this, new that. So there is an abundance of that running around and, raising the positive energy and vibration. So it's pretty cool. And that's definitely important. But I don't want you to beat yourself up if it's taking you a little bit of time. Mind you, when you're watching this, it's only been day 3 of January anyway. But if it's taking you time to stick to whatever tasks, goals, or things you're trying to implement, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace, okay? And I am a big person that at any point of the year, it can be your new year, okay? So if you realize you really need January to restore, okay? Because the fall goes by super fast. There's so much going on, and I understand that after all the holidays, after all of that, you need time to recuperate. So if anything, if you don't want to, implement any goals right away, make sure you utilize January for yourself to get back grounded. So let's get more into it. This is part 3, the finale of Affirm Yourself series. And for y'all just now tuning in, this is actually part of a series called Affirm Yourself series. You can now go to part 1 and part 2, which I will have the playlist listed at the end. I also will have the different episodes where you can click around here at some point in this episode. So before I get a little bit more into today about motivation that will change your life and focusing on your main character energy, I just want to rewind to our other 2 episodes that came out before this one. So part 1 of Affirm Yourself series, it focuses on the importance of change and the importance to level up. And in order to level up, you have to embrace change. And yes, it is not easy, right? But the more you move forward, the more you try, and don't let little setbacks hold you to a place, you are going to see some cool blessings happen in your life. And then part 2 focuses on changing your mind. And so I forgot to say this. In part 1, I talk a little bit about affirmations. In part 2, I go a little bit more into it. That's why it's called Affirm Yourself series, because I am an affirmation queen, okay? Affirmations are something that has changed my life. Took some time. It didn't happen overnight. Took a while, okay? Because I had to find what worked for me. And that's the cool thing about affirmations, is that you can remix it to work for you. And then it's almost like you're programming yourself. Well, you are reprogramming yourself, and you're giving yourself instructions into who you are. And it feels so good when it actually, starts to come into fruition in the physical plane, which is really, really dope. So check out part 1 and part 2 if you haven't so already. Now, let's get into part 3. Be the main character. Now, the reason why I say that is I know there's plenty of videos out there about being the main character and how important that is. But I do want you to know that everyone has different opinions on what that is, right? And so for me, it's being the best version of yourself. And that's what Live to Be Recognized is all about. Being the best version of yourself. Being that person that you always wanted to be, but actually being it in real life, not being it in your mind. And that's part of being the main character. Be the show that you want to watch. Would you be honest with y'all? Let me, be honest with yourself. I'm saying be honest with y'all. Would you, right? Flip the channel on your life right now. If you were watching this on TV, watching yourself on TV or watching yourself from, high up above, wherever, would you change the channel? And I want you to be honest with yourself, because that is a question I asked myself. And there were parts of my life that if this was an episode of a certain segment, I would have probably changed the channel. And I had to dig a little deeper, okay, why did you want to change the channel on that segment? Because you found it boring. Okay, why do you find it boring? Because I'm not actually doing what I really want to do and doing something towards my goal. You see how I broke that down? So I lead with this because if it's hard for you to really get that started, that's where affirmations come in at. And I stress the importance of, if you've never done affirmations before, just starting with 3, because it can get very overwhelming. I say over 30 now every day. And it feels so good. But the reason why I'm saying that just start with affirmations, because you're going to say words or statements to yourself that you've never said before, and you're internalizing it. And if these statements do not resonate with you, soon enough, you're going to do actions that resonate with that statement. Now, if you're not understanding what I'm saying, don't worry. I'm going to break it down a little bit more. Sorry, y'all. My camera got full of storage, so we had a little intermission. So if the lighting or whatever seems a little different, I had to move things around. But anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. So what I was saying before I had to switch around my camera was that soon enough, by you saying these affirmations, actions are going to start happening. And I know it's probably very hard for you to kind of understand the concept. When I got into affirmations, trust me, I did as well. It took me some time to just stop saying them, and then to actually be like, you know what? I tell myself every day I'm brave. So let me do something I'm brave at, or I'm scared of, but I want to conquer, right? And this is a true story, because that's one of my affirmations. I am brave. Because I felt like that was something that I've always lacked, because although I am a confidence coach and I talk all this stuff and, talk about just go for it. This didn't happen overnight. And there are still lots of times that I'm think things over. I'm human, right? Before I move forward with them. And there were definitely things in my life that were stagnant due to lack of bravery and, complacency and comfortability. And I wanted to feel brave enough to handle, and I don't even want to say handle, but actually make movement on my goals and, my sole purpose. And here we are, we Live to Be Recognized, right? And that's something that Live to Be Recognized, for those that don't know, it's something that has been on my mind for years. 2019, I hashtagged elevation season all over the place. I wanted to do an original podcast about elevating, but everything happens for a time and a reason, because honey, I thought I knew what I was talking about then. And granted, life is a learning process, right? I'm going to look back at this video and be like, girl, really? But this is what I feel now, and this is what I know as to be true. And I know, who knows how long from here that I'm going to look back and be like, man, I was such a little, baby in this idea, in this field. And so I've learned so much more because I continue to immerse myself in knowledge and continue to want to reach, the highest of the high. And when I say highest of the high, it's not a level thing, meaning as much information as my brain, my body, my soul will allow for me to take in. I say all this because I wasn't like that at first. I went to school for my master's in sociology, undergrad anthropology. That's where I was like, okay, I'm done with school. I don't got to do much more. No, but then I took matters into my own hand to research, to learn, to actually combine everything so that I can able to present things in a way that, one, yes, combines my opinion, but it's backed up with a lot of factual evidence and actual things that I tried and I actually physically did in life. But all of that, I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys about if I wasn't brave. So having that as an affirmation, whenever I was scared, whenever I was second guessing myself, I'm like, wait, I'm telling myself every morning I'm brave. And I'm not doing anything towards that. That's weird. And so I actually started moving things towards that. And like I said, it does not happen overnight. It could, but I don't want you to set expectations for yourself. Like I've been saying affirmations for a week now, ain't nothing happening. You have to give yourself time and you have to get out your mind. It's a technique. It's a technique, but you have to try and try again. It's practice. Even though affirmation seems so easy because it's words on a list that you say in a mirror, it's way much more deeper than that. It's way much more deeper than that. Because if that was the case, okay, everyone out there saying affirmations will be living their best, fantastic life. And I'm not saying, they're not, right? And I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm saying that everything on their list would be in fruition right now. Okay? So you have to start saying affirmations. Like as what I recommend, honestly, and this is what I tell my clients, is that you can start with, I'm grateful, number one. Then do one that you kind of want to work on, that you already know within you, but you want to sharpen. And then an out there one that you're like, okay, this is something that's a part of me, but I don't really feel that about myself. But you want to feel it. And that's how I start it up for my clients. And it works, It definitely works. And it helps to make things seem real. Now, going back to affirmations and main character energy connecting together, get delusional with it. Think about it. You're delusional with your fear because we get ourselves so fearful of a made-up situation or scenario based upon past experience that we assume that this is going to happen again if we choose this path, or based upon somebody else's experiences, it may happen to me. Now, if you don't understand that, please roll it back, because it is something that once I thought that over, I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, I'm getting myself all uncomfortable, giving myself anxiety and fear and all these thoughts. I ain't even moved forward in the direction to even have that happen, right? But if you think it, it may come into fruition. It may not. Meaning, if you're thinking negative, if you're thinking bad thoughts about something you want to do, it's a possibility it could happen, right? But it's also a huge possibility that it cannot. So I decided to, and you listen to any successful person out there, they're going to tell you basically being delusional will help you. And they don't, some say it in the obvious term delusion, some use other terms. I'm just saying that's part of the game too. And that's part of main character energy. Think about the people that you're like, yo, that person over there thinks they're all of that. They're living in their own little world. Like, please, they're not in reality, but they're living their best life. And then I bet you those be the people that sometimes they come out with a product, or they're doing something, or they shifted something in their life. And you're like, huh? I thought they were a little out there in their own little world, but they ended up actually moving forward with their dream. And then you still on the line spectating, talking crap. Not saying that's you, right? But we're all humans. I'm sure that has been similar, if not this predicament happened before. So with embracing your main character, you have to embrace your delusion. Daydream sometimes. No one's judging your daydreams but you. Take 5 minutes out to do imagination. And it's not imagination if you decide to move forward on it. It's only imagination if you don't make an effort to try and move forward. Now, let's say your imagination is throwing you out somewhere so far in the future where you're like, I don't even know the steps to get there. Retract, and do one little step that you can do in that moment to get you to that end goal. There's gotta be a step. That's how a bigger picture is formed, by little strokes, right? So start paint your life. Paint your life. Get the camera rolling. Put that main character energy out there. Okay? And I hope y'all know when I do these episodes, I be doing them for myself too. I don't know what I'm going to say half the time. I always have my little notebook or whatever for references, but sometimes things come out and I said, I needed to hear that. Like the stuff I'm saying, I needed to hear this. Because vulnerable moment right now, before I got on the screen, I'm like, you know what? Do I really feel like, recording right now? I kind of just want to veg out and read a book and just take a shower and all this other stuff because it is evening right now. And I'm like, no, I love this. I love what I do. And I could have easily just been like, I'll just do it tomorrow and put more pressure on myself. Even though I already have a list of things to do tomorrow, I'll figure it out. But I pushed myself because I had to think back to my affirmations. And my affirmations include the goals that I want to achieve. And if I would have pushed off recording this video to tomorrow or whatever day, it would have pushed me further away from something I've been saying every day I've been saying these solid affirmations, I think, for like 6 months now. Okay? So once I had that reality check, it was almost like I was checking myself and I'm like, all right, let's set it up. Let's do what it do. And even when I was recording right before I got back to y'all, I said my camera was full. I could have easily just packed up shop and been like, you know what, I'm good. But instead, I deleted videos and recorded this video, the second half. And it's to you guys right now and you're watching it. But if I didn't do that, you would have not gotten this content, this material, this cadence, okay? These messages and the way that they're coming. So, in this season of 2024, bet on yourself. Be that main character. Don't change the channel now. And when things get boring, you better watch it and you better watch through it. I mean, where are you actually going? But use that as a moment for rest, right? And recalibrating and rethinking. Those are the best times when things are formed. And don't be afraid to ask for help and receive help. That is something on my journey I am learning a lot. And it's a beautiful feeling when others around you see your growth and want to help you elevate. You don't got to be alone. And let's say, at this point in your life, you are alone, right? You can join communities, or you can utilize this time to really learn yourself and become your own best friend, because that's really fun. And then after that, mark my word, and you can look up other people that will say this too. Once you really learn yourself, you're going to vibrate and attract people you would have never, ever thought of. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in again. It means so, so, so much. Thank you so much for those that follow me on Instagram and TikTok at live, L-I-V-E, number 2, letter B _. Thank you for those that listen in audio land. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud, only odd episodes. So this episode will be on the audio platform as well. If you're interested in collaborations, promos, speaking engagements, working with me one-on-one, feel free to email me at tyraquel124@gmail.com. Give yourself grace. You got this. You got this. You're amazing. If you don't think you're amazing, I think you're amazing. So I need you to believe that about yourself. Thank you guys so much, and see you next week.